Coming home not to play for the Lakers, but for the Clippers. A big reason why this happened was when Leonard pushed Paul George to find a way to get to the Clippers. George approached Oklahoma City Thunder for his desire to leave, and OKC pulled off a big deal, and Kawhi and Paul George will be playing for the Clippers next season. Here's how the trade breaks down. The Clippers are going to send the Thunder Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Danilo Gallinari, 4 unprotected first-round picks, and another protected first-rounder, and 2 pick swaps.
Let's bring in Stephen A. Smith now. Steve, what was your reaction when you heard about not only Kawhi Leonard heading to the Clippers, but also the trade involving Paul George?
Well, stunned to say the least. The Paul George part is what's stunning. We all knew that in terms of Kawhi Leonard and where he might end up. We all knew it was going to be the Clippers, the Lakers, or the Toronto Raptors. And for the last week or two, we've been hearing the Lakers. And then the Clippers kept saying to people like myself and others, excuse me, that ain't going to happen. I had one Clipper tell me, there's no way in hell he's going to the Lakers. He's going to choose us, or he's going to stay in Toronto. So when you heard that Kawhi Leonard was going to end up a Clipper, that wasn't too surprising when you consider the fact that you have the richest owner in sports. You have one of the greatest executives in the history, if not the greatest executive in the history of the sport, in Jerry West, who obviously is the right-hand man of Steve Ballmer. And you have a Hall of Fame caliber coach in Doc Rivers, who, no disrespect to anybody else, but clearly is an upgrade from Frank Vogel. So you look at the Clippers organization, their mentality is that we're in a better situation right now. Lakers missed the playoffs 6 straight years. We just won 48 games, battled against the reigning champions in the first round, Golden State at the time. Where the shocker comes in is Paul George, because Paul George had an opportunity to be a Laker. Certainly things didn't work out in terms of Magic Johnson trying to acquire him, but as a free agent, he was free to go if he had so chose and had wanted to. And instead, he stayed in OKC. His relationship with Russell Westbrook obviously was considered to be stellar. Yes, they did get bounced out in the first round by the Portland Trailblazers. We all saw Damian Lillard hit that shot over Paul George to win the series. But to hear that Paul George ultimately approached OKC after being recruited by Kawhi Leonard and asking to be traded, and then for this to happen where essentially 5 different picks along with 2 players are given up by the Los Angeles Clippers, it's one thing to see Kawhi end up a Clipper. It's another thing to see the Clippers pull off getting him with Paul George. That is a shocker.
All right, so now what's the pecking order in the West now? How much better are the Clippers? Are they the favorite in the West now?
I think you have to give them the edge. I couldn't believe that anybody would come to me with a proposition that would say there's somebody better than the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But the Clippers were clearly a better team this year. And when you talked about them getting Kawhi Leonard, you only thought about him. But if you have Kawhi Leonard with Paul George and you have 2 stars on your team with the Los Angeles Clippers, with the depth that they have, with the coaching staff that they have, with the resources that they have, etc. I can't knock anybody right now who would think that the Clippers might very well be above the Lakers in the pecking order, particularly since, for the most part, they have a team, whereas in the case of the Los Angeles Lakers, you still have to construct one because they've got a roster to fill out with LeBron and AD.
We've got a great rivalry here in Los Angeles in the same building beginning next season. Stephen, we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
All right, so before the Kawhi Leonard news, the big story was Zion Williamson's Summer League debut.
Sounds so long ago.
Yeah. Williamson and the Pelicans taking on R.J. Barrett and the Knicks, their first NBA Summer League games. Take a look at this scene pregame. Williamson meeting up with Anthony Davis, who's the outgoing Pelicans franchise player. A lot of famous faces in the crowd. This Summer League game. Floyd Mayweather, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball, all there. Sold out Thomas and Mack Center.
So what did the Clippers do so right that convinced Kawhi Leonard to sign with them?
Well, they traded for Paul George tonight, and they are sending to Oklahoma City essentially a record collection of draft picks 4 first-round picks, 4 unprotected future first-round picks, a protected future first-round pick, 2 pick swaps, and outstanding rookie point guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari for Paul George. Paul George came to the Thunder in the last couple of days and asked to be traded to the Clippers. He wanted to play with Kawhi Leonard, and to get this deal done to stave off the Lakers, stave off the Toronto Raptors, the Los Angeles Clippers, Steve Ballmer, Lawrence Frank, their president, made a decision to make, really a historic commitment to deliver 2 All-Stars to their team. And now in Staples Center, it's Paul George and Kawhi Leonard against Anthony Davis, LeBron James.
From what you're hearing, with Paul George going to the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, if OKC didn't help to make that trade happen, would Kawhi Leonard have gone ahead and picked the Clippers if George was not coming with him?
I don't believe Kawhi Leonard was going to go to the Clippers without a second star coming in. I think essentially Kawhi Leonard's position in these last couple of days to all the teams was, I'm maybe going to go to the best team and the team that loads up. And the Clippers were the team that had to make a move to bring in a second star. There is more talent with the Lakers, with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Obviously, the team he left in Toronto. The Clippers had been Kawhi Leonard's focus for this entire process, but they needed to improve themselves. They go out and get Paul George, and now you have these 2 elite bookend forwards to play together, but they paid a steep price. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, their first-round pick last year, had an outstanding rookie season. Patrick Beverley will be their point guard now, but the Clippers, faced with the idea of Kawhi Leonard.
Leonard going to the Clippers.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard coming here to Los Angeles. Southern California native coming to play for the Clippers. He informed the Lakers and the Raptors of his decision, according to our Adrian Wojnarowski. And Kawhi Leonard coming here to the Clippers. He's not going to be alone. His choice of a running mate was Paul George and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Going to send George to the Clippers in a trade that will send Danilo Gallinari and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to Oklahoma City. Mike Wilbon joining us now. Mike, first of all, what do you think about this decision from Kawhi Leonard?
Well, you know what? I think the decision to be in Toronto or join the Clippers keeps the league much more interesting than just going to the Lakers. And I'm not saying there would have been anything wrong with going with the Lakers. I'm not saying it wouldn't have been fascinating for people just obsessed with the Lakers. But for people who are paying attention to the league in a little broader manner, staying in Toronto or going to the Clippers at least leaves a fascination about what some matchups could be like, what some rivalries could be. And obviously you guys got the rivalry right across the street now when the Lakers and Clippers meet each other, with Kawhi Leonard joining a 48-win playoff team with a coach wearing the championship ring and a special consultant who's the logo of the league, Mr. Jerry West, and the owner, who I guess is perhaps the richest owner in the league, in Mr. Ballmer. So there's I don't know how anybody could be critical of him joining the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm sure there's an entire nation up north that is, somewhere between upset or depressed about him not staying there and trying to pursue more championships. But I think at least by joining the Clippers, it leaves another dimension of interest and fascination with now how the Lakers, and tonight I'm in Las Vegas where I didn't even feel the earthquake. I don't know what my problem is, but the Kawhi Leonard news is bigger in some ways, certainly in a very myopic sports sense, than that, because of what it does with that. The Lakers were filling the house. Laker fans were filling the house tonight, and they were thrilled to see LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the house. And that's going to be now playing out in a way that the epicenter is going to tilt. But it tilts to both sides of that arena on both locker rooms, Clippers and Lakers. So big news we'll be analyzing for days.
So Adrian Wojnarowski, according to his reporting, Paul George was Kawhi Leonard's choice of a running mate, and maybe that trade, working out that trade with Oklahoma City, is what took so long for Kawhi Leonard to make a decision. What do you think about that tandem added to what the Clippers had last year?
Well, I mean, it sounds like a great tandem. I mean, it sounds like a great tag team. And, I mean, now, immediately, I don't understand. I got to hear more as we go on about why Oklahoma City would be so accommodating to the Clippers. For what? I mean, do they really believe that the Russell Westbrook, Paul George experiment of a couple of seasons is done and they want to go a different direction and get younger and start what appears to be something of a rebuild? And how's Russell Westbrook going to take that? I mean, he was playing with his teammate was Paul George first team or second team All-NBA? And either way, we're talking about a top 10 player in the league this season, and now Oklahoma City doesn't have him to accommodate the Clippers. That's going to take some, digesting as we sort of filter through the next couple of days. But Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, I mean, yeah, why not? Who wouldn't want that? And it doesn't seem like you've given up the guts of it. You still got an ensemble around them.
Yep.
To me, that makes them right there, shoulder. It makes them better than the Lakers. The Lakers don't yet have, a full team that they can go with. And the Clippers apparently do. And that's part of the attraction, I think, of Kawhi Leonard. He knew the pitch had to be, we're not going to gut this team for you to join us. We're going to be contenders from day one. And to me, this trumps the Brooklyn Nets move 10-1. I mean, the Brooklyn Nets move is sexy. You get KD, you get Kyrie. I mean, Kyrie's last team was better off without him, clearly. And Kevin Durant's not going to play. He's going to have a redshirt year. And then the first year, how close to Kevin Durant is he going to be the first year? So, to me, when you get a healthy Kawhi Leonard and you get Paul George and you get the guts of a team that won 48 games being coached by Doc Rivers, I mean, that seems to be, if you start talking about the big winner now in free agency this summer, and not just free agency, but obviously trades too, it would seem that the Los Angeles Clippers, to me, would vault to the head of the class given what they've got now in terms of an entire team to trot out there at the end of October.
All right, the Clippers adding 2 All-Stars in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Mike, we appreciate the time.
All right, thanks a lot.
Hey, did you know? By adding both Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the Clippers will become the second team in NBA history to add multiple 25-point-per-game scorers in one off-season, joining the 2014-2015 Cavaliers. Remember them? Who added both LeBron James and Kevin Love. That duo, along with Kyrie Irving, brought Cleveland its first NBA championship in 2016.
With the Lakers and what that big three would have looked like, or even him going back to Toronto, they went all in a way that we have not seen a team previous go all in.
This is amazing. Adrian Wojnarowski, you've been following it all along. Hard to predict. Just incredible. Thank you for your insight joining SportsCenter.
Thanks, Linda.
All right, let's bring in Rachel Nichols now, host of The Jump on